Hey, hope you're having a good day. I got some good news. The course is now available. Click the link below to get full access. And if you're new, consider subscribing.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope your email developing journey is going all right. And if you're struggling, let me know in the comment section. I might come back and start doing some serious tutorials like every week, like how I used to do it before. But just kind of been a little bit held up with some projects and stuff that I'm working on. Not to say I'm not interested in actually coding on this channel. No. I'm actually interested in coding on this channel. That's what the channel is about. Shout out to all the new subscribers as well. Shout out to everybody who got the course. Shout out everybody that watches the videos, drops a like and comments and subscribes and does all that stuff to support the growth. Appreciate you guys. So yeah. Really quickly, I got an email. Basically, we all at different levels of coding, so I totally understand where people are coming from. So obviously, that's why I'm actually here to actually help. But yeah, basically, here's the video, and check it out, and then I'll come back and explain a few things. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, we're gonna watch this.
Refresh that. You get this. So if I was to minimize this new table, okay. So we have this outer table, right?
It changes when you click on something else. I think you clicked on number 36 and it changes. Is this just a special feature of your software? That's what it leads me to believe. Because, I'm using VS Code and it's not doing that. So, anyway, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay, now that you've watched that video, let's get that out the way. Actually, I'm in Photoshop right now. Let's just switch up and go to Dreamweaver real quick. So, okay, here's the thing. I use Dreamweaver because, man, I kind of like Dreamweaver, I like the highlighting that it does. For example, if you miss a tag or if you type a tag the wrong way, you see, it pops up with some error highlight in here. All these features, I really like them. If you're new as well, it kind of helps you. You see, it's readable English. It says tag must be paired, no starting tag, because it identifies something is wrong within here. So basically, you'd look at it and be like, okay, what's happening here on this line, or particularly on this line? But clearly, you'd be like, okay, something's happening here. There's a double D. Let me get one out. So yeah, something like that. Or maybe if let's do it here. Okay, then it's going to give us the same errors. Or maybe if the HTML, let's see if it had like a equal sign in there or something. Okay, see the highlighting is going in there. It's just telling you something is going on, something funky. But then the problem is, if this is happening on a different code editor, whatever it is, Notepad++, some of these code editors don't actually have highlighting. So that can be a bit difficult if you're starting. So you'd need to at least have some kind of experience. Like me, I'll be okay, because I kind of know, okay, there's something is wrong somewhere here and stuff like that, but it can still be a bit tricky. So this is why I prefer just using Dreamweaver straight to the point. CodePen, I've heard CodePen. Yeah, CodePen is cool. For example, if you just want to, throw your code in there quick, but that's not an industry standard tool for you to actually use. So you might just want to use CodePen to say, for example, host your code. If you're on a different computer, go to your pen and just grab that code. So I normally do it that way as well. I can go to, just do it that way basically, so that I can grab my code without needing to actually email myself a file. So yeah, that's what I could do with CodePen, but I wouldn't really use it to code. All right, so that out the way. Regarding the video, basically, let's see. So the highlighting that you mentioned, basically, it's like if I come into the body of this email, right? Because this is just a fresh, empty HTML document, and if I go to in Dreamweaver, we can go insert, and it's off the screen, but insert table, yeah. And then the pop-up comes up. Yeah, I want the table to be 100%, one row, one column, 0 border thickness, 0 cell padding, cell spacing. Yeah, so all of the jazz, those are my options, and I click OK. So what it does is it gives me basically it gives me a table. Okay, and I just, because basically when it came in, I think you saw it, it was out here. So to indent it, just use the tab key to indent it so that it pushes in. So those are like little tricks you can work with basically to just line up things. So you can see that tag is lining up with that, which is always something that I always mention. Next thing, me personally, because I don't like what they call code blot. Right? So basically it's just like a loads of code which is just sitting in there doing nothing, adding extra lines, because here is like all the lines you're coding. So here, number 10 is literally being occupied by a T body tag, which I know for a fact is just extra line, which I don't need. So it's got T body here, T body there. So I just take out the T bodies. Boom, I take it out like that. But it's because you're in Dreamweaver, because the T body has been taken out, it has to be opened and closed. So I took up the opening tag. If you didn't know, you just be like, oh, my code is fine. But Dreamweaver again tells you exactly frozen error. So that's why I always say Dreamweaver is a good tool to use, especially if you want to start out something like that, yeah, I mean, there are other tools there like VS Code and stuff, still great, to be honest. So it's just your preference, and particularly for me, I just always rolled and rocked with like Dreamweaver. That's why you always see me kicking it in Dreamweaver most of the time. So we got a table there, and we got a TR tag, and we got TD. This is the foundation block of like HTML emails. So you can see that now I've got a table tag. So if I hit refresh here and come and click the table tag, maybe click the TR, the table tag. Yeah, maybe I need to put some content in there, and I'm breaking space so that actually recognizes it. So yeah, let's try again. Refresh. So yeah, there you go. So if I click the table tag, you can see there's a blue highlighting that's happening here. That highlighting is just basically, it's just showing you the bounds of the table tag. So this table tag has got a width of 100. Okay. So having a width of 100, what that means is you can see that it's 100%, like spanning the whole way. So if I did like something like 10%, you're gonna see that table tag is now up to here. So it's just showing you the bounds of that table, really. But obviously, as you've always followed along, the outer shell, the outer table tag is 100%, because we want it to span the whole way, right? And then the inner table is the one which is like 600 pixels. Okay, so yeah, so for example, here's also another thing that you can do to speed up stuff. So you can highlight this, right? After you highlight it, you can go and create a snippet out of it. So you can just, create a snippet, boom. And so it'll create a snippet for you. So for example, I can call it table, and then the trigger key, I can call it T, okay? I think I already got the mindset up, but that's how you create a trigger. So every time you come now, I can do align center here, and then inside here, let's create the inner table. So I can push T on the keyboard and just push it like that. So automatically that gives me a table. I don't have to go through the menus, okay? And I'm indenting back, okay? Just so that it lines up and stuff like that. And then I can change this width to be 600. And because it's aligned to the center, you can see now this is my 600 tag. Okay, and if I click this one, it's going to jump to the 100% tag. So this is nothing to do with like your content, like your images, your text, your buttons. This is just to highlight you the element itself, if you're building websites, you got divs and stuff like that you can click, and you can sort of see the div, by it jumping around. So this is just showing you the table, this table literally spanning the whole way because it's got a width of 100. And then because we've aligned center here, this table inside is now center. So when I click it, it's center. But if it was left, which obviously is not our case in email marketing because the tables are always centered. So, but if it was left and I click this table now, you can see that it's jumping to the left. Okay, if I had put right, it was going to jump to the right. But yeah, most time it's center, right? So center it, and then I click it, then it jumps to that. Yeah, that's it. And then once you're at this point, trying to keep this video short, guys, you know how I do. I end up having 30 minutes of like footage and stuff. Right, so so basically once we get to this point, obviously that's when you can start throwing in your content. So maybe you can throw in an image and you say 600 pixels by height of something like let's say 300. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, I actually am smoking right now. Okay, wait. Width is actually 600, and then the source is HTTP. Let's see if I can remember the file path /vir.placeholder.com/600 by 300, something like that. Okay, boom. So we got it like that. So this is how you start to add content in there and stuff like that. And then so you got this table tag, this TR, and then under that you can create another TR. Okay, indent back, so just to line things up. And then in here you can put some text. So maybe I do lorem ipsum text. Boom. Okay, so I've got some text in there now. I can just do a style tag here, and this is just on the fly, you know, just padding, maybe 10, well, let's just do generous stuff, 20 pixels, 0 pixels, so top and bottom becomes spaced out from the image. Maybe you want the font family to be Arial or something like that. I don't know, let's just put that. Okay, yeah, let's do Arial at the beginning. Arial. Okay. And then maybe we do like let's see where we are. Okay, let's do line height, or something like 30 pixels. Let's just go with that. Font size 18 pixels. Just playing around with numbers. Font size 18 pixels. Okay, so you can kind of get to see what the text is doing based on our rules and stuff like that. And obviously, if you didn't want the text to be touching the outer edges and you wanted the text indented a little bit, you could use padding, or you can just do it this way. You can nest. If you haven't watched the nesting video, you can watch the nesting video. Kind of will help you out a little bit as well. I was actually answering somebody who threw me a question. So I could put a table in here, indent this back, and say align center, and then give this a width of 9E. And then, because I've copied and cut that bit that was, yeah, so basically I paste. There goes my meeting, guys. I don't know if you had that chime, so I got a meeting in a few minutes. But yeah, there you go. Now, if I refresh, it's going to be indented in a little bit, so it's not like touching the edge, you know. So that's one way I'll do it, to indent stuff. Yeah, and if you want to create a, like a, what you call it, a button underneath this, you can just come here, TR, yeah, let's see, push it back. How are we gonna create this button? Let's see. Okay, let's just do it that way. Yep. And then just give it like a width of like 200 pixels. And we're gonna pull it back. And then we're gonna do like maybe some like a BG color. Okay, something like, I don't know really, guys. Okay, we got a color. And then and we're gonna put a link here, like find out more. All right, something like that. And then of course now we have to do a style tag in here and just do like line center, no, text align center, color, make it white. Okay, let's just do aqua because it's already in the list. Yeah, something like that. Maybe you do padding of like 10 pixels, like 0, just to give it a bit of buff. Okay, and then this one you can do style if you want it to have some rounding, border, radius. Okay, maybe something like 10, something like that. Refresh, and you kind of get that funky style happening. Yeah, you want to maybe make the font size a bit bigger. Font size maybe to be something like 20 pixels. Why not? And then yeah, you can see where we're going with that font weight. You can throw in all those kind of things. Font weight, bold, font family, fat font. Yeah, it helps to get a type in as well for family. I just stick with Arial now. Okay, so you got kind of vibe like that happening, and obviously if you wanted the button to line up with this text because it's kind of sticking out, so if you wanted the button to line up, you'd have to cut this, cut it out, and figure out where we are in the thing here. Just paste it in there underneath in the right spot, and just indent this like that. And just like that, we kind of get what we wanted, which is like lining it up like that. So I mean, this was obviously just a silly example, but you get the point. Like all these orange colors and this, when you click it, it's actually telling you the blue outline. That's the bounds of the TD, which is holding all that information and stuff like that. So yeah, and I think if you go in Dreamweaver to like file, if you go to actually the Dreamweaver and then you go preferences, if you go to highlighting, so you got all these colors. That's what is set by default to be like the colors that show when you click on elements and stuff, which you can change to whatever you want. So, but I never bother with that anyway. The defaults are fine. So pretty much that's how you do it. And yeah, just keep following the course. Obviously, the next step would be to think about, okay, how am I going to make this responsive? Because at the moment it's not responsive. But clearly that's because there is no media queries or anything at the top. And this is actually not even saved because it's just a dummy example. So again, like I said, I got 6 minutes to my meeting. Hope this helps. Hope it kind of gave you a little bit more ideas and stuff. But my ideas and suggestions is that if you're still like really, really new, like take your time, one tag at a time. Like for example, take your time to build this image, figure out what's really happening, throw that image in, and then take your time to do this part as well. You know, just play around because I've used one technique of indenting. Some people use padding here, like padding and then push it in and stuff like that. So, you know, you could do that way. But I did it this way because that's kind of more bulletproof in my opinion. And you got this button. So, you know, you can take your time with the buttons. There's so many ways to doing buttons. You can even go online and just search for HTML email buttons and just let it generate and just throw it in your code. So there's that way as well. So just take your time. If you're still new, just take your time. The more you actually spend time playing around one element at a time, you'll realize that it's going to be easy. Because what happens normally anyway, these things are repetitive. So you're going to find your email down the road is going to have another image. So yeah, same thing that you did to this image, and you're going to need to do it again. If, for example, it's this text is going to be the same thing. So down there as well, you're going to need to like throw in another section with like text. So these things are always repetitive. So don't rush to try to build a whole email. But mostly important, like just try to build an element and really understand. Okay. Once you get the foundation, basically you can scale up to do other crazy stuff like interactions and all this stuff, but don't rush there. There's no need. Take your time. All right. So I hope that helps. Yeah, I'll catch you in another video. Take care. Bye.
Hey, hope you're having a good day. I got some good news. The course is now available. Click the link below to get full access. And if you're new, consider subscribing.